and welcome back to HirePresence. We have a great show going with Andrew Szabo. He is the marketing chef. He's the founder of, the foundations of Irresistible Marketing is the material that he has put together, or authored, and it really does teach you the, what does Zig call it, the whole shooting match?
Well, Zig Ziglar calls it the whole shooting match. But these are the foundational elements that we each have to master. Again, whether you talk about being a solopreneur or an entrepreneur or in a business or for yourself, there's, just like in cooking, there's certain foundational things that you need to have in your kitchen. In marketing yourself, there's certain foundational elements that need to be present. We've covered 5. I've had the privilege of having 4 other sales and marketing authors work with me on this. So we covered strategy, which of course is my specialty. Pat, there's publicity with Jeff Crilly, who I understand was a guest on one of your previous shows. Great guy. Referrals. We all have to know how to effectively generate referrals. Then there's networking, and then there's sales with Brian Flanagan, who is one of Zig Ziglar's top speakers.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get Brian on here too.
You must do that. So with these are 5. It's like having you must have olive oil in the kitchen. So these are the foundational elements that we all have to master, irrespective of what you're marketing, yourself, your business, or a product service offering.
That is awesome. Well, when we talk about job seekers becoming job finders, and we're saying we need to become irresistible, simply irresistible. How does someone become simply irresistible?
Well, if you think about becoming irresistible, what makes something, someone, somewhere, some experience irresistible? When you think of something as irresistible, you just have to have it. One of my favorite things that I like to create in the kitchen is actually Italian chocolate truffles. I made some. I should have brought some for this into the studio.
I'd had
here
something
today.
right there.
It wouldn't have worked well on television. But you bring chocolate truffles. For certain people, they would find that absolutely irresistible. They have to have it. So when something is irresistible, you have to have it. Now, for another person, it may be sushi. For another person, it may be Chicago deep dish pizza. Nothing wrong with that. Different audiences find different things irresistible. But you have to have it. You want to know more about it. So I created this framework of actually 10 years ago, really, called Irresistible Marketing, which is, if you like, a strategic recipe. And what is a recipe? Think about it. It's simply a series of ingredients in certain proportions and a sequence of actions.
Right.
So I create recipes for organizations to become simply irresistible. And there's a number of components you have to be irresistible. In fact, I'll give it to the audience. The first step to becoming irresistible is to become nude. N-U-D-E. It's an acronym.
Okay.
Don't worry. You don't have to take clothes off.
I'm sitting there going, that would not be a good picture.
But everybody has to, and it's actually, this is Scott DeGraffenreid, one of my collaborators. He did a study on why something is highly referable. And he studied several different industries and looked at over 300 different variables. It came down to 4 things that makes something highly referable. And in working with Scott, I realized, okay, if those factors make you highly referable, then from a positioning point of view, you must be simply irresistible. So N in the nude acronym, so everybody should better remember this, stands for novelty. There needs to be something novel about what you do, okay? Something contextually novel. Obviously, the marketing chef, in a sense, is novel. The idea of bringing marketing and cooking together in food is a novel concept. So there's an element of novelty. U stands for utility or usefulness. There's got to be something useful about what you bring to the table. D stands for dependability. We have to show consistency and dependability. One of my favorite things that when I'm talking about individuals becoming simply irresistible, and nowadays, we all have to have like a LinkedIn profile. But how do you show dependability? Well, get recommendations. All the people that you've got relationships with, go get recommendations. Because what somebody says about us is far more powerful and quite irresistible compared to anything we could ever say about ourselves.
But a lot of people might come back and say, well, I don't know anybody that could give me a referral. And what would you say to that?
That's a great question. But the reality is there's always somebody. I mean, even my son, he's 22 years old. He's at university. He's had some jobs, okay, already, summer jobs. I'm already telling him, get a LinkedIn account and get those recommendations. That internship you did there for, even if it was only 2 months, you worked with somebody there. There's always somebody there that's willing willing to give a recommendation. And the key is take advantage of it. And it's amazing how people will, if you just ask for help, people will do that. At the beginning of this year, actually, I realized, okay, I've got about 15 so recommendations. So I thought, 2nd of January, I'm going to do something different this year. And I sent out to about 120 people, would you be kind enough to give a recommendation, either for my strategic consulting or my speaking, whatever capacity that we had engaged in. And I got 31 back. I mean, it's just, people are more than willing to help each other out. I mean, that's what it's about nowadays.
Well, and the other thing is just give.
Yeah.
Give recommendations, because then
Excellent,
the way that
yeah.
LinkedIn works is they go, now you want to recommend them?
Yeah.
So that's a great key. As we're kind of closing up this side of it, this section, anything else that will make somebody in the next 30 seconds, what would be another irresistible tip?
Well, remember there's 4 letters. So we talk about novelty, utility, usefulness, dependability. The 4th is economic benefit. It doesn't necessarily have to be financial, but if you can show and demonstrate how you have helped organizations in some way economically. If you've been in sales, then how did you grow the organization, or how did you? Perhaps you're a CFO. Then it's about, well, did you control costs and so forth. So, novelty, utility, dependability, and economic benefit.
Awesome. Thank you so much. This is HirePresence. We'll be right back after these messages.
Yvonne is a sweetheart. She's an awesome person, an awesome inspiration to us all.
Yvonne does not just talk the talk, she walks the walk about what's important in life, and what she thinks changes for people.
Yvonne is so positive that she makes me want to be a better me.